Hi everyone, my name is Ruby and welcome to the People and Culture Chronicles podcast. If you're here for the first time, welcome. It's a space where we talk about everything HR. So go ahead and click like, click subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time that we go live. We've so far had 2 episodes that have aired, and I do believe that now would be a good time for you to go and save it in your playlist or in your YouTube account so that you can go ahead and catch up right after this very, very interesting conversations we've had on the age gap, that we've had also on job loss in the workspace, and many more things that are to come. So I'd want to give you an opportunity to go back and watch them right after this episode, of course, and make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel because we have very, very, very interesting things that are packed up for you in the people and culture space. Now, for today's episode, one of the things here in Uganda that we are big on is on celebrating people. And you cannot talk about HR in Uganda without talking about Mrs. Martha Munnu Omer, who is a very, very important person in the HR fraternity here in Uganda. Unfortunately, on the 26th of June 2021, we received news of her passing. And it's from that the community was shaken, but we've continued to thrive and be strong in everything that we do as an HR community. Martha was known for so many things. She was a hero maker, she was fun-loving, she was very humorous, she was a great leader, and also a great HR icon. She also went ahead to set up the HR Funhouse, which started out as the HR Club, but eventually transitioned to HR Funhouse, which is the sole, should I say, proprietor or the sole the club behind this particular podcast. So in honor of her life, of her legacy, we've particularly put this episode together to share testimonials, to share a tribute to her for who she was as an individual. So for this particular episode, you're going to be listening to different HR practitioners around here in Uganda who will be giving tribute, sharing memories, sharing lessons that were learned from Martha. So as you sit back, relax, enjoy, reflect on this episode and hear what each of them had to say. Once again, my name is Ruby and I'll be your host for today.
My name is Suki. I work with Kakira Sugar Limited. I lead the people space there. I met Martha in 2015. To be precise, it was the month of March. And in our meeting, it was first point, but we kicked off very well.
I knew Martha all before we even started the fun house. You knew her, would talk so much because whenever she would find me, she knew the name Chisubi, and I think she had known most people, having lived in Busoga and even studied there. She knew, so whenever she would meet me, it would be a jazz in Busoga. So that's how I came to know about Martha. Yes, so I have really fond memories about her.
I met Martha, I think around 2015, and I met her through a friend of mine called Juliana. Martha and Juliana were really close, and that's how I got to know Martha. We met at Cork. We were passing by and decided to go check on them. But the way she interacted with her colleagues at work, you'd wonder who the boss was. It was really special and encouraging. No wonder all the people she worked with have since grown and even become better, because there was so much joy around her. However, when you work with a person who gives you a lot of peace, you're able to make mistakes and learn from them. So that was a good thing about her.
I got a chance to meet Martha, but that was in a more professional setting, the serious side of her, when I was working and doing some work for Coca-Cola. And at that time, she was heading the HR department. But later on, I get to hear about her, and people really talked profound things about her as a professional.
Martha and I met on WhatsApp, actually. We met on a platform. I think we had just created HR Talent, and it was a good mix of serious and not serious, of professional and social. And it was at that point that she thought about creating a space where HR people could be unserious, laugh at their life's mistakes, but also ask professional support. Because the question I think that she was asking at the time was who takes care of HR, because HR takes care of everyone else. And we found that we needed a safe space where people could decompress, release the stress from work, discuss things that bother them that are not necessarily professional. And that's how the HR Funhouse was created.
I really remember how we came up with the idea of starting up an HR kind of get together. By that time, of course, we had our session, which is the HR MAU, and as the HR professions as we are, tend to be very serious. We tend to look like very professional. We want to move with this this kind of I don't know, but that's how we were required to be. And it was this clamor, the silent voices from, of course, the young HR professionals finding our session not really appealing to them. And that's when the idea came up of say, how can an HR person also find fun in the fraternity? Okay, so the idea began growing and say, okay, can we have something where HR can also have fun without being judged, without this? And one particular day we began plotting on how we can meet up for an evening. And it was through messages, how can we meet up? And it was an open invitation on who could be available that evening. That's when we came out the idea of saying, can we meet at Brisk? I don't know if that place is still there. Brisk's Bugolobi, not Bugolobi, it is around Kololo. Yes, around Kololo. I remember that spot. It was my first time, of course, getting there. And we didn't know that Martha actually had gone ahead, booking the place and seeing where we're going to, reserving the tables, and we end up there. And I still remember some of the people who joined us. I remember Benjamin Rubogo. I remember Christian. Yes, Christian was there. Martha was there, and a few other people. I think Alan Josh was also there. Yes. That evening we talked casually about HR. It was fun. It was more of a meet and greet. Nothing really like formal, but at least one particular point that came out in that evening meet was how can we enjoy our profession? Yes, we have other avenues where we can grow professionally, but how can we also practice our profession but with fun? And that's when the idea came up as can we have a fun club. At that time we were looking at having it as a fun club, an HR fun club. Right now, of course, it was transitioning into Funhouse or something like that. And it was departure at will.
Long ago, the HR practitioners were mainly focused on the professional bit of it. But then someone, that's the late Martha, gave birth to this idea of Funhouse that has given us an opportunity to be able to live, to celebrate, to connect, and to generally improve on our general mental well-being as practitioners or as professionals in the HR sector.
I had a boss, my former boss, she was called Sarah Kajumba. One of the people she would speak about was Martha, and she would say how Martha really helped her grow her HR career, gave opportunity to learn HR, study, also professionalize her work. So I was a bit baffled. I really wanted to understand and get to know this person. So it happened that there was the HR club that was formed. And so at that time I was having a conversation with one of the HR colleagues. She's called Brenda Ogule. And I was like, but Wanang HR, our life is too serious. We always feel as if we are in a court session, and there needs to be some kind of change. And said, oh, by the way, there's HR club, and I think we should go and join it, because that time we're looking for fellow HRs who have a blend of serious and a blend of fun. So the meeting was in, I think, January 2018 in Africana. And so I think that was the first meeting And so we attended. Unfortunately, Martha didn't make it that day. But I remember Alan Josh with his signature cape. Even up to today, the guy wears the signature cape. And so that group was formed, and we joined the WhatsApp group. Now that's when I get to now get into like real understanding of who Martha was. I could see a person who was full of life, who would be able to blend from a serious person in the office space and then a very social and really full of life person on the WhatsApp page.
We discussed so much in deep that she gave me courage, because I had taken almost 11 years in marriage without children. So when I shared with her that part, she told me, wow, you need to speak to other people who are going through this. And when I had my first child, I kept her in the moment and the journey of my pregnancy, whatever I used to crave. And when I had that child, we discussed, and I told her I'll name this child Martha.
I remember Martha from two special scenarios. There's a time we were at an event, one of the HR Funhouse events, and she was talking about growth and getting out of your comfort zone. I think one of her bosses in Cork one time forced her to go out of Uganda to go try out, to go for her training, and it was a bit hard, so she thought she wouldn't go, and later she took it up, and there was a lot of opportunities after that for her, a lot of growth opportunities, and it really elevated her in the circles of work and also experience. So the lesson in all that was that when you face hard things, or when it's hard, when you have people who fire you up to do great things, you're able to do even the things that you thought you couldn't do. So that was the one thing that she was to many of us. When you were scared to do something and you told her about it, she would make it look like it was the simplest thing for you to do. So you'd go ahead and do it, and she would always be there to cheer you on. Even if you failed, she would somehow cover it up or find a way to communicate it in a way that doesn't make you look like you failed. So she would encourage you to do it.
Martha wanted to take things the way they were supposed to be. She wouldn't really struggle much. I don't know whether it was a skill or something. She would be this straight person who would tell you this can work and we can make it work. And for me, that pragmatism that I got from her, I still live with it. Yeah.
I think in the last 2 years of her life, we didn't know it then, but she was preparing to leave. She couldn't have known either, but she took time to shake off what I would call encumbrances, things that were not in alignment with her journey with God. And she did many things to help people. She had a Thanksgiving. I remember talking about it with her at her farm. She was really preparing. And when the time for her to leave us came, she was ready. That's the one thing from which I drew a lot of comfort after she had passed, because I started piecing everything together and I thought, wow, she was ready. So that profound memory of live your life like you will die tomorrow, I think she lived that in her last days.
There was the other element of Martha that really, for me, stood out for me, is that how serious she took the spirituality on the group. It so happened that that time we had COVID, and people on the different groups kept giving updates on their relatives. Me personally, I lost about 5 people within the space of 2 weeks, very close people to me. And I remember a number of people, if I vivid remember even Shamim, a colleague Shamim had, and all of us were really struggling. But I remember her encouraging people, She was even the one advising on the herbs. Then she would tell people, have you tried this one? Then of course the joke on the WhatsApp group would be some people that someone said for them they had even got a mairunji and they took it and they thought it was a herb for curing COVID. And they were happy that the feeling it gave them that it was better than the other things they were giving for COVID. And she kept doing that, and I think encouraging people that try this concoction. And because at that time there was so much gloom, people didn't know what to do. She's the one who asked us, you guys, we need to sort of put this into the hands of God, because even the government at that time could not figure out the solution to COVID. And I remember she also birthed prayer night. And so we started to have prayers for our own colleagues who are battling with COVID, and we also had prayers for our relatives, and also had prayers for our friends who are struggling and battling with COVID.
I got COVID, and I wasn't sure it was COVID as suspecting before I did the tests. So everyone was sharing on the Funhouse page, and I inboxed her and told her, I saw you shared that you have this COVID herb. And she's like, yeah, my guy is going to the farm very soon. So just inbox me where they can drop it for you so that you can take. So somehow I think many people reached out to her and are telling her, I'm also sick. So she eventually told us that all of you on Entebbe side should get one specific location so that I deliver your medicine to all of you. So on the said date that she was supposed to give us the medicine, it was a Saturday, I remember, it didn't come. So when it didn't come, we all thought like, yeah, Mother keeps her word. So the fact that it didn't come, there was something. Eventually, news broke that Mother wasn't well and she was battling COVID and she was a bit unwell. However, she beat that and she came back, she was okay. She even told us about the story, how they first said it wasn't COVID, then it was COVID, and then she beat it. She got well. But then she slipped into that second phase that really got her, and they checked her into hospital and she didn't make it out of there. It was really very, very heartbreaking, especially because she came out and said her testimony, and then we were all happy that she had gotten past it, and then she was no more. It was really very, very painful, and it's something that, for me, there was a lesson in that yes, we should always be thankful to God, but also because she was the kind of person that she was, I think God made it that she comes out and gives that testimony so that she leaves the rest of us with a lot of hope, because her death hit so many people so badly that, well, that message is something that we live up to say that she fought a good fight.
A lesson that stands out for me also is about intentionality. Not allowing things to happen to you, but being intentional. And this was in relation to both work and family, because she mothered her children with intention, with love. I'm sure this far they've come, but they recognize, they still know how deeply loved they were by their mother. So for me, the intentionality is a lesson that I live by. It has informed some of the decisions that would have been difficult decisions that I've had to take, especially with regard to balancing my career aspirations and nurturing my children. And I'm grateful to Martha for helping me articulate the gift of clarity.
I really remember, of course, a fun moment with Martha. I think it was at an end of year party where I could see the personality out of her. She was a fun girl. Honestly, that's how you can describe her. She was a fun girl. Whoever knows, whoever remembers, of course, her size, and she's able to groove with everyone, like in circle or something. It used to be very fun. She would always be laughing in the room. She would always be jolly in the room. That's Martha's personality. Yeah.
she made a comment one time and say, I don't know what Suki you have at your place, because everything of yours you talk about your dogs. Because I would always talk about my dogs more. And then I told her, in my home, our dogs are our first children. So whatever we do, we share everything with them. Then she started saying, and then she laughed over it. She was so funny anyway. She was so funny, and she loved to sing. Even in that funny voice, she would love to sing and make funny revelations of what the children have made. I've told her, if the child asks about something, she'll make up and reveal what the child told her. And even when my daughter drew me looking like a cockroach, she laughed and said, perhaps we are looking like cockroaches. To her, may her soul rest in eternal peace. She was so funny.
There was a podcast that was done, I think, with Ruby, and when I was listening to it, she mentioned that one of her favorite rooms in her house was her toilet. And I said, oh wow, by the way, in the toilet is where actually most of us spend alone time. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. So Martha, I know that you are in good hands. I know that wherever you are living and you are shaking hands with the one who gave you to us as a gift. And if I can pick from a statement, a catchphrase that was used during that podcast, it was the gift that kept on giving. And today we are members of the HR Funhouse. I am the PR for HR Funhouse because you created a fraternity that has outlived you. Even this that we are doing is because you left on us a mark, a legacy that we have stuck on and we continue to live by. Rest in power.
May your soul continuously rest in peace. We shall not forget you. At least myself, I will not forget. I will not forget the special memories. There's so many birthday cakes you would always have on your birthdays, and how special you are to me and to the many people in the HR community. Continue to rest in peace. We miss you very much.
We continue to celebrate late Martha because Martha was a visionary person. She was a mother, she was a mentor. She was very strong on morals. She's one person that did everything with vibe, but extremely very serious and purposeful. We celebrate her, we continue to celebrate her legacy, and we believe that most of us as practitioners and as members of Funhouse, we shall continue to embed her values in whatever we do so that her legacy can live on. And by so doing, it's just very necessary that as members of Funhouse, we keep the going concern of Funhouse. Funhouse must continue to exist because it was founded for very strong reasons. It's very easy to join Funhouse. Someone will be wondering, how best can you join Funhouse? It's very easy to join Funhouse. One, so long as you're a practitioner, all you have to do is to reach out to our general secretary, inbox your details, you'll be vetted by the EXCO, and you'll be added. For you to be a member or for you to subscribe, you only have to pay a subscription fee of 100,000 shillings, which is annual. So we encourage everyone, the HR practitioners who are out there, who haven't joined, please do so, because you're missing out on so many things. And this is one of the best places where you come and you're able to get a chance to connect with so many people across the board. As Funhouse, we want to pledge that we shall continue celebrating the late Martha because she created strong foundations for us as members and as HR practitioners. I always tell people that you can't speak about HR as a profession without speaking about the late Martha because she groomed so many people, Even some of us who are not so close to her, we are positively impacted by her legacy. So as EXCO and as a community, we shall continue to celebrate her and may her legacy live on.
And there you've had it. So many interesting memories that have been shared about Martha. If I'm to start with the last one, Martha birthed the HR Funhouse, of which all of us are part. If you're an HR practitioner in Uganda, like Joel has said, please go ahead and join the Funhouse, because you'll not only network, but you'll also have a space where you can decompress. Before we conclude, I'd like to share personally a memory that I've had with Martha. Martha was a friend to me. She was a mentor. She was also one of my line managers at one point, because we worked together in the corporate space. She was a mother. She was everything that has formed my career life right now. And if I'm to remember some of the memories I had with her, she was a very humorous person. All you needed to do was be in a space and hear people laughing, and you'd know that Martha was there. She led with empathy. She led with her heart. She was big on head, but also big on heart. And she used to keep saying the two have to meet together if you're to be a good leader. She was very smart. She knew a lot about the business. She would never be in a room and not say anything. One of the memories that sticks so closely is one of the days I was working closely with her. She gave me an opportunity to go and surprise her husband at his workplace. Then it was his birthday, and she was stuck at work and she could not make it, so she told me to go buy KFC, which she loved very much, and she gave me her car to drive and take to her husband to surprise him with the KFC that she had bought for him. Now, unfortunately, as I was leaving the building, I crashed the car and she lost a windscreen. And I remember I panicked so much, because I was like, oh my God, what am I going to tell Martha? I mean, Martha was the HR deck, like she was Martha. You don't just crash anyone's car. And it wasn't a Vitz, no offense to those who have Vitz, but it was a very, very, very big, expensive car. And I remember panicking. I went back to her and I told her that I made a mistake. I crashed your car, you lost a windscreen. And she looked at me and said, no, it's fine. Insurance will cater for that. And in that moment, I felt grace, I felt love, I felt okay, and I did not feel judged. And that was exactly who Martha was, not only with her car, but also in the workplace. If you ever made a mistake while you were working with her, her first response was to cover you, and then probably beat you up later, but her first response was to cover you. So as the HR community, we indeed lost an icon, but we sit back and reflect on the things that we learned from her. We sit back and reflect at her life and the legacy that she left behind. It's been 4 years now at the time of recording this video, and we're still celebrating what she was as an individual. Her spiritual life, she was big on God, especially towards the last years of her life. It's a reflection to us to declutter everything else that removes from us the focus on God, the focus on people. She led with empathy. So it is our desire that as an HR community, as you who's watching, you may not necessarily be in HR community, are you leading with empathy? Are you leading with love? Are you putting people first? But also, do you have head? Are you smart enough to do exactly what you're doing? And at the end of the day, continue to be selfless, continue to live above self, continue to be generous, because those are things that Martha taught us. So once again, thank you so much for joining us on the People and Culture Chronicles podcast. If you have not yet subscribed, now is a good time for you to do so. Click like so this video can go to as many people as possible. Click share, share it with many of your friends and families, and also hit the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we go live. Now, the testimonials we have shared are just from a few of the HR fraternity members, but we know that there's so many out there. So if you're reading this and you have a story you do want to share, please go ahead and type in the comment section. We'll be very glad to share this with our friends, with her family, with her children, with her husband, because we do know that she loved them ever so dearly. Once again, my name is Ruby. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode. We'll see you again next time. Martha, continue to rest in peace. We do believe that as an HR fraternity, we'll make you proud.